for some Miami Heat basketball with Deron Butler on Kendall Sports Network.
And a good Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Deron Butler, and welcome to another edition of Heat Zone Live. The Miami Heat are back from a 4-game West Coast trip where they were 1 up, 3 down. But now they're back home at the Kaseya Center to take on the Charlotte Hornets as part of the NBA in-season tournament, or as we call it, the NBA Cup. Last time these two teams met, it was back in Miami. Not too long ago, to be exact. Not too long ago in Miami, where the Heat blew out the Hornets in a 144-114 victory, where Jaime Jaquez Jr. showed up and showed out. Well, speaking of showing up and showing out, that's what we kind of need from Kel'el Ware and Nikola Jovic. And from last night, from the Denver game 2 nights ago, Bam Adebayo suffered a toe injury. Thankfully, it was nothing serious, but he's going to be out for a few games. So that's going to put a big damper on the Heat's offensive and defensive production. Which is why I believe Kel'el Ware and Nikola Jovic needs to step up and prove to themselves that they can play. So again, we're gonna be without Bam Adebayo for a few games. Hopefully, we get to see him down the road. And this Heat Hornets game, I definitely think is going to be another high-scoring affair. So here are my keys to the game for tonight's matchup. Like I said, Jovic and Ware need to step up and be consistent. 2 nights ago against Denver, they looked out of place. They looked off balance. Kel'el Ware looked like he didn't know what he was doing. Jovic looked like he was still getting little broed by Jokic. And that's probably another reason why the Heat have struggled in Denver so much, because of lack of consistency. Jovic and Ware needs to be consistent, not just for this game, but for the rest of the season. Another key will be closing off the passing lanes. Going back to the Denver game from 2 nights ago, Denver was passing the ball a lot. They were spreading the offense. They were spreading the floor, and they were beating Miami with fundamental layups. Just easy fundamental stuff that kept the Heat off guard. Even at times the Nuggets were playing small ball, and you wouldn't realize it. So Miami needs to close off the passing lanes. And finally, attacking the paint and getting second chance points. I can't stress this one enough. Offensive rebounds are crucial in today's game. Sure, Miami's identity is defense, but what good is defense if you don't crash the boards on both ends of the floor? Especially on the offensive end. Miami will need to do that a lot. Especially if you need to put up more points given the pace that they are playing at right now. So again, my 3 keys are Jovic and Ware need to step up and be consistent. Miami needs to close off the passing lanes on defense. And on offense, they need to attack the paint and get second chance points at will. So the players are lined up for the singing of the national anthem, and I will be right back with the lineup and the player introductions for tonight's game. And we are back. The starting lineup for Miami Heat are as follows. Kel'el Ware at center, Norman Powell at small forward, Andrew Wiggins at the power forward spot, and commanding the backcourt, Davion Mitchell at point guard and Pele Larson at shooting guard. All right, the players are getting themselves ready for tonight's game. Coach Spoelstra talking over their game plan and what they need to do to succeed. So right now we got ourselves some pep talk from both sides. And we should have tip-off in a few seconds. Of course, Eric Spoelstra's home was on fire last night, or rather early this morning. So thankfully him and his family wasn't harmed. So that's a good sign of relief. So the players are still warming up. They're still getting themselves ready. We should have tip-off in a few seconds. Alright, Miami wins the tip, and here we go. Davion Mitchell gives it to Kel'el Ware. Ware gives it to Wiggins. Here comes Wiggins. Passes it out to Norman Powell. The three. Go, go, Norman Powell Ranger. The Heat are on the board. Alright, here comes Charlotte now. They give it to Kalkbrenner. Back out the Trey Man, alley-oop. And Ryan Kalkbrenner gets Charlotte on the board with that alley-oop. Trey Man with the assist. Alright, here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Larson. To Norman Powell. Powell gets fouled, and he will go to the line shooting 2 free throws. Or they should have it side out, I should say. Alright, Miami will have it side out. Davion Mitchell now has it. Wiggins throws it up to Kel'el Ware. It's broken up. Recovered by Miami. Wiggins. And Andrew Chief Wiggins, 3 for Miami. The Heat are up by 4. Here comes Trey Man. Being guarded by Larson. Trey Man with the scoop layup. Misses it. Rebound by Kel'el Ware. Here comes Miami now. They give it to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell almost loses the ball. And he goes right in for the layup. The Heat go up by 6. All right, here comes Charlotte now. And they get the layup plus the and-1. Zion James getting that layup, and he will go to the line for the and-1. And Zion James gets the and-1 for Charlotte. They trail by 3. Here comes Davion Mitchell now. Gives it to Norman Powell. Norman Powell hits the floater, and the Heat are up by 5. Here comes Charlotte now. They give it to Con Kneppel. Passes it out to Zion James. Zion James, and that's an offensive foul on Charlotte. It will be Heat ball. Davion Mitchell was in the right position for that charge. Still looking for some assertiveness from Kel'el Ware in this game. Here comes Wiggins. Gives it to Larson. That's a three. And Pele Larson knocks down the three, and the Hornets call timeout. The Heat lead 13-5, and we'll be right back. And we are back. Score is 13-5 Miami. The Heat are off to a good start on offense. Right now, Hornets have the ball. Colin Kneppel inbounds the ball, give it to Trey Mann. Trey Mann being guarded by Pele Larson. Trey Mann gives it to Mikal Bridges. Bridges misses the alley-oop. Rebound by Wiggins, and here comes Miami. Wiggins give it to Davion Mitchell. To Kel'el Ware. And that's a three for Kel'el Super Bowl Ware. The Heat lead by 11. Mikal Bridges now has it. Back out to Trey Mann. Here comes Trey Mann. Zion James open three. He misses it, but Ryan Kalkbrenner tips it in. Charlotte trails by 9. Right, here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Kel'el Ware again. He misses that one. Colin Kneppel brings it up to the floor. And Colin Kneppel gets the layup over Kel'el Ware. The Hornets trail by 7. And that's a 3 plus the and 1 for Go Norman Power Ranger. He will go to the line for a 4-point play. And as I always say, you don't foul a shooter when they're going for the 3. That's always the golden rule. Looks like we may have a timeout. Looks like we have a timeout on our hands. I think the referees might be discussing something. Or rather, I think Charlotte's trying to challenge the play. Alright, so it's going to be an official review. Looked like Norman Powell may have stepped on Trey Mann's foot. Not sure what the problem could be. But as it stands right now, the Heat lead by 10 points. Charlotte right now, they are without LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball could be injured or is injured. Alright, the referee's giving their official review. From the looks of things, it looked like Trey Mann got a little way too close, and that looked like it could be a flagrant foul. It could be a flagrant foul on Charlotte, and it is a flagrant foul. So Norman Powell will go to the line for the technical free throw, and he gets it. Miami now leads by 11. Miami will inbound the ball. They give it to Davion Mitchell. To Norman Powell. Another 3 on the way. No. Rebound by Charlotte. Here comes Mikal Bridges. To Trey Mann. Trey Mann gets a layup, but he gets fouled. Trey Mann will go to the line for 2 free throws. Trey Mann gets the first, and it's a 10-point game. And Trey Mann gets both free throws. Charlotte trail by 9. Here comes Pele Larson now, being guarded by Trey Mann. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell out to Larson. And Pele Larson gets the layup. The Heat lead by 11. Alright, here comes Trey Mann. Being guarded by Larson. Gives it to Bridges. To Zion James. And Colin Knuckle misses that 3, but Trey Mann's there to get the put back. The Charlotte Hornets are trailing by 9. Because Miami now. Kel'el Ware. He gets the layup, and that will bring the Heat back up to 11. Kel'el Ware with 5 points in this game. That's an open 3, and Zion James knocks it down. The Hornets trail by 8. Here comes Norman Powell now. Drives to the lane, and he gets the layup. The Heat are up by 10. Here comes Zion, Trey Mann, long 3, misses that one. And here comes Miami now. That's a 3 from Davion Mitchell, and good night, off night. Davion Mitchell knocks it down, and the Heat are up by 13. Miles Bridges bringing it up for Charlotte, being guarded by Andrew Wiggins. Bridges out to Trey Mann for the open 3, and Trey Mann gets it. The Hornets trail by 10. All right, here comes Davion Mitchell with a 3 of his own, and he misses it. Here comes Miles Bridges. Gives it to Trey Mann. Trey Mann again. And Trey Mann gets the layup over Kel'el Ware. Kel'el Ware needs to put a defensive effort, put a body on the man. Here comes Wiggins. Wiggins with the fadeaway, and he gets it. The Heat are up by 10. Here comes Miles Bridges. Ball is knocked loose, and here comes Miami. They got numbers. Davion Mitchell, and he gets the easy layup. The Heat are up by 12. Here comes Trey Mann. Trey Mann being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Trey Mann with the fadeaway, and he gets it. The Hornets trail by 10. Trey Mann with 11 points on 4 for 6 shooting. Here goes Norman Powell, and he gets his shot blocked. Here comes Zion James to Trey Mann, and Trey Mann gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Trey Mann knocks down the first, and we have ourselves a 9-point game. Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Nikola Jovic come into the game for Miami. And he makes both free throws. So the Hornets are within 8. Jaquez now has the ball. Gives it to Norman Powell. That's a 3. That's a miss. And it's rebounded by Charlotte. Colin Knuckle now has it. Being guarded by Jaquez. Ball is knocked loose, and here comes Miami. Jovic has the ball. He has numbers. Jovic misses the layup. And Charlotte recovers the ball. Out of bounds on Charlotte, it will be Heat ball. Drew Smith comes in the game for Miami. Davion Mitchell will have a seat. And Trey Mann will also come out of the game for Charlotte. Here comes Drew Smith. Gives it to Norman Powell. Pele Larson recovers the ball. Larson drives it in. And he gets the basket. The Heat lead by 10. LA Larson now with 7 points off 3 for 3 shooting from the field. Nice recovery by Miami, and they get the ball back. Jovic finds Jaquez. Jaquez gives it to Drew Smith. They give it to Larson. Larson gets his shot blocked. And here comes Charlotte. And that will put the Hornets back at the free throw line. Foul was on Drew Smith. McNeely will go to the line for 2 free throws. McNeely makes the first. And Simone Fontecchio comes in the game for Miami. And McNeely makes both free throws, so the Hornets are within 8. Here comes Jovic speeding through the lane. He misses yet another layup. Here comes Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges flies in for the layup. And the Hornets are within 6 now. Here comes Jovic. Jovic gets the layup. And the Heat are up by 8. DJ Salon gives the ball to Miles Bridges. Bridges being guarded by Jovic. Charlotte sets the screen. And the ball is knocked loose and is covered by Miami. Jovic gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez flies in. Misses the basket. I think that was last touch by Charlotte, and we're going to have ourselves a timeout. Charlotte are crawling their way back into this one, but the Heat lead 37-29. We'll be back. And we are back. Score is 37-29 Miami. Jaime Jaquez Jr., he's been hot off the bench. In Wednesday's game, he had 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists against the Nuggets. Alright, so here he is with the ball. Jaquez now drives it into the lane, and he gets it. The Heat lead by 10. And it's nearly stolen away, but it will be Heat ball. Alright, Miami will have it side out. Jovic will be the one to bring it in. Jovic gives it to Drew Smith. To Jaquez. That's a 3. And Jaime the Aztec Jaquez Jr. 3 for Miami. 1, 2, 3 for Triple J. Alright, Charlotte now has it. Miles Bridges with a 3 in return. No go. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Charlotte, so it will be Heat ball. Nice heads up play by Jaquez to knock down that 3. Jaquez has been one of the bright spots for Miami this season. You gotta love his development and growth so far. And that's a 3 from Drew Smith. He misses. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Miami. I think that one's going to be on Jovic. Jaquez looking like he could be the 6th man of the year, as well as most improved player of the year if he keeps up this production. So Charlotte will go to the line for 2 free throws. They make the first, and it is a 12-point game. And they make both free throws, so they trail by 11. Here comes Wiggins now. Gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez now being guarded. Jaquez with nowhere to go. That's a 3. And Simone La Dolce Vita Fontecchio 3. Mwah! The Heat go up by 14. Alright, here comes Miles Bridges being guarded by Drew Smith. Miami, they block the shot. And here comes Miami now. Wiggins out on the fast break. Slows down, gives it to Fontecchio. Fontecchio to Jaquez. To Drew Smith. That's a 3. And Drew Hill Smith knocks down the 3. And the Heat are up by 17. Tijan Salon brings it up to the floor for the Hornets. Being guarded by Drew Smith. Here comes Miles Bridges. They give it to Salon. TJ Salon with a miss, and it's rebound by Fontecchio. The Heat are on a 13-2 run right now. That's Wiggins. And Andrew Chief Wiggins, 3 for Miami. The Heat are up by 20. Here comes TJ Salon, being guarded by Drew Smith. They give it. And Charlotte knocks down the turning fadeaway. They trail by 18 in this one. Jaquez now has the ball. He gives it to Drew Smith. Back to Jaquez. Back to Drew Smith again. Here comes Drew Smith. Gives it to Jovic. And Jovic gets the layup. Easy layup for Jovic. And the Heat are back up by 20. Here comes TJ Salon. Salon misses the layup. It is out of bounds, and it will be Heat ball. Alright, Drew Smith has it. Loses the ball. And that will end the first quarter. The score is 53-33, Miami. We will be back for the second quarter. And we are back. Score is 53-33 Miami, and we are ready to kick off the second quarter. A much improved display of offense from Miami. But you know, things can happen. All right, so here we go with Trey Mann. Trey Mann being guarded by Drew Smith. Gives it to Canepo. Charlotte gets the layup, and they do. Here comes Miami now. Jovic has it. Gets his shot blocked, but he gets fouled. All right, Jovic will go to the line for 2 free throws. Half foul was on Ryan Kalkbrenner. Charlotte so far have had 7 turnovers to Miami 0. Jovic makes the first. And it is a 19-point game. And Jovic makes both free throws. Here comes Trey Mann. He has 13 points in this game. Gives it to Canepo. Canepo being guarded by Jovic. Canepo misses that one, but it's recovered by Charlotte. Trey Mann now has it. Being guarded by Jaquez. Misses the layup, and it's rebounded by Miami. Here comes Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins give it to Jaquez. And that one's going to be a traveling violation on the Heat. Alright, here comes Trey Mann. Charlotte now has the ball. That's a 3 for Charlotte. That's a miss. Rebound by Wiggins. Wiggins pushes up ahead to Hawkins. Here comes Hawkins. Back out to Wiggins. Wiggins a three. And Andrew Chief Wiggins 3 from Miami. The Heat go up by 23 in this one. Wiggins with 11 points, 3 for 3, shooting from 3-point land. Alright, here comes Charlotte now. Trey Mann has it, being guarded by Drew Smith. Kalkbrenner sets the screen. Kalkbrenner misses the reverse dunk, and here comes the Heat. Hawkins now. And Hawkins gets the basket. And the Hornets will call timeout. The score is 60-35 Miami. The Heat are blowing out the Hornets so far in this game. And we'll be back for more Heat action as part of the NBA in-season tournament. And we are back. The Heat lead by 25 in this game. Here comes Trey Mann. Gives it to Kalkbrenner. Out to Trey Mann. Concanepo has it. And Concanepo will go for the N1. Concanepo knocks down the basket. Here comes Miami now. Miami is shooting 23 out of 33 from the field. Charlotte only 50%. And Andrew Wiggins gets the basket. Here comes Charlotte now. Trey Mann. Ball is knocked loose, and here comes Miami with numbers. Andrew Wiggins with the fast break dunk. 13 points for Wiggins off of 6 of 6 shooting. 15 points off of 6 of 6 shooting. Zion James gives it. That's a miss for Charlotte. And here come the Heat now. They got numbers. Hawkins loses the ball, but recovered by Charlotte. The Heat are on a 29-9 run right now. Here comes Trey Mann. To McNeely, and that's going to be a foul on Drew Smith. Drew Smith already with 3 fouls, and he will come out of the game for Miami. Davion Mitchell's back in, and Zion James will take a seat for Charlotte. McNeely now gives it to Miles Bridges. That's a 3 for McNeely, and McNeely knocks it down for Charlotte. Alright, here comes Hawkins. Hawkins flying through. Misses the layup. Here comes Charlotte now. Trey Mann gives it to McNeely, and McNeely misses the layup. Here comes Jovic. Jovic finds Fontecchio 3. It's a miss. Rebound by Trey Mann. Trey Mann gets it to McNeely. Colin Kneppel misses the 3. But Miles Bridges is there to clean up. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Jovic. Out to Wiggins. Wiggins a 3. He misses that one. Here comes Charlotte now. Trey Mann bringing it up the floor. Trey Mann a 3. And here comes Miami now. Miami getting the rebound. Here comes Hawkins to Jovic. Gives it to Davion Mitchell. Swings it out to Fontecchio. Fontecchio a 3. Fontecchio misses that one. Rebound by Colin Kneppel. Trey Mann now bringing it up the floor for Charlotte. Gives it to Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges finds Kalkbrenner, but the ball is knocked loose. It will remain with the Charlotte Hornets. Kel'el Ware will come into the game for Miami. So will Pele Larson and Norman Powell. Hawkins and Wiggins will take a seat. Alright, here comes Miles Bridges. Gives it to Trey Mann. And Trey Mann gets the basket. Here comes Miami now. Norman Powell loses the ball, and here comes Colin Kneppel. Colin Kneppel gets the layup. He misses it, but he will go to the line for 2 free throws. That was a careless possession by Miami. The ball bounced off of Norman Powell's foot. Colin Kneppel makes the first. And he makes both free throws. The Hornets are now on a 9-0 run. But the Heat still lead 64-47. Alright, here comes Pele Larson. And he got fouled. Miami gives it to Kel'el Ware. Out to Davion Mitchell. Out to Larson. Open 3. And that's an air ball. Here comes Colin Kneppel for Charlotte. Kneppel the alley-oop to Ryan Kalkbrenner. And the Heat will call timeout. The Heat lead 64-49 with Charlotte on an 11-0 run. We will be right back for more Heat action. And we are back. Miami still has the lead, but Charlotte right now are nipping that away with an 11-0 run, led by Kneppel and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Alright, here comes Miami now. Davion Mitchell bringing it up to the floor. Gives it to Norman Powell. Norman Powell misses the layup. And here comes Charlotte now. Miles Bridges gives it to Kneppel. And Kneppel with the three. And we have a game, ladies and gentlemen. Charlotte are trailing by 12. And it looks like they're on a big run. So it's a 14-0 run for Charlotte. Another miss from Miami. Kneppel now. Gives it to Miles Bridges. Out to Trey Mann. Trey Mann misses it. Rebound by Pele Larson, and here comes Miami. Norman Powell, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Right, Simone Fontecchio will come out of the game and take a seat. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is back in. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Norman Powell, and that's another miss. Here comes Kneppel. Gives it to Miles Bridges. Kneppel, that's 3. That's a miss. Rebound by Kel'el Ware, and here come the Heat. Larson now bringing it off the floor. Miami is swinging the ball around. They give it to Kel'el Ware. Norman Powell. Oh, that's going to be out of bounds. And it will be Charlotte ball. Miami now with 4 turnovers in this game. Charlotte only 8. And here comes Trey Mann bringing it up the floor for the Hornets. Being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Alright, here comes Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges with the spin. And the layup over Kel'el Ware. And now the Hornets trailing by 10 on a 16-0 run. Kel'el Ware misses that 3. The Heat's offense has gone stagnant in this one so far. The Heat's offense has gone ice cold. And that's a block by Kel'el Ware. But it was last touched by the Heat. So it will remain Hornets ball. Tonkin misses that 3, but it's back tap to McNeely. Back out to Trey Mann. Charlotte now with 22 rebounds to Miami's 13. And that's a miss for Trey Mann. And Charlotte again gets the basket. And we are going to have a timeout. Coach Spoelstra is livid. Coach Spoelstra is livid right now, and so am I. The Heat lead 64-56, but it really doesn't matter right now because the Hornets are on a run. Alright, and we're back. The Heat looking for a basket, and finally they get one. Jaime Hawkins Jr. It took us a while. It took us a long while. And that will put an end to Charlotte's run right now. Or so I thought, as Shao Khan Canepo hits that corner 3. It looks like Norman Powell's in some discomfort. And that's going the other way. So it will be Charlotte ball, and yeah, Norman Powell is limping onto the bench. This does not look good for Miami. Oof, knee-to-knee collision. That's what got Norman Powell limping right now. The last thing the Heat want is another injury. Nope, we don't have Tyler Hero, we don't have Bam, and we might be without Norman Powell again. And that's another 3 for Charlotte. Now it is a 4-point game. Colin Kneppel with 16 points with 50%, shooting 50% from 3-point land. And that's a 3. That's a miss. No rebound for Miami. Tre Mann is out hustling Kel'el Ware. I never thought I would say that, but here we are. Tre Mann, and he gets a 3 over Kel'el Ware. What the heck is going on? Jaquez missing that one. The Hornets trail by 1 on a 27-2 run. How do you go from down 25 to coming back into this one? Tre Mann misses that one. And that's going to be out on Charlotte. It will be Heat ball. I had high hopes for Kel'el Ware in this game. I had high hopes for Nikola Jovic. Never would I thought I would see this kind of production from the Heat right now. After going on a blistering pace the last few games, dang, all I can say is speed kills. Here comes Wiggins. Wiggins gets his shot blocked. The Heat look hapless and helpless right now. And it is starting to show on their faces. Miles Bridges came up big with that block. Pele Larson will go to the line for 2 free throws. At least Miami catches a break with that one. Larson makes the first. And he makes both free throws. So the Heat now lead by 3. To go from leading at 25 to now leading at 3. This is insane work. Miles Bridges now has it. Gives it to Tre Mann. Tre Mann misses that one. And Diabate comes up with the rebound and putback to bring Charlotte within 1. Larson gets the layup with the assist from Jaime Jaquez Jr. The Heat go up by 3. Here comes Tre Mann now, being guarded by Davion Mitchell. Here comes Tre Mann, gives it to Colin Kneppel. And Miles Bridges scores for the putback. So the Heat are up by 1. Miles Bridges with 8 points, a 4 for 7 shooting from the field. Here comes Wiggins. Wiggins loses the ball, and here comes Charlotte. Tre Mann gets his shot blocked by Jaquez. Now that's the highlight of the night right now. And Nikola Jovic comes through for the layup with the assist from Andrew Wiggins. Now that's something to wake you up right now. And that will end the second quarter. The Heat lead 72-69. Usually when it comes to basketball, it's a tale of 2 halves. But for this game in general, this was a tale of 2 quarters. The first quarter, Miami came out with fire. They came out with something to prove. They came out with some offensive dominance. But then in the second quarter, everything got away from them. Like their offense production just stopped. They were lackadaisical on defense. They weren't getting offensive rebounds. They were hardly getting even defensive rebounds. And they weren't even doing extra passes, which allowed Charlotte to go on a 27-2 run. The Heat were up by 25. 25. Like what? 60-35 at that time. Only for the Hornets to erase that lead with some baskets from Miles Bridges, Con Kneppel, Trey Mann, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. So, and to make matters worse for the Heat, another Heat player got injured, and this one is Norman Powell. Norman Powell was limping off the floor, which was not a good look for the Heat right now. No Tyler Hero, no Bam, and now no Norman Powell. So now your offense has to rely on Andrew Wiggins, Davion Mitchell, Jaime Hawkins Jr., Simone Fontecchio, and off the bench you have Nikola Jovic and Kelly Ware, both of whom aren't doing nothing. Both of whom are barely even having a dent or imprint in this game. So something has to click for both Jovic, Ware, and the Miami Heat. Something has to click and something has to stick for this team. So, enough of my halftime rant. I will be back for the third quarter. And we are back. And we are back to start the third quarter. Heat lead 72-69. All right, Norman Powell is back on the floor for Miami. Good sight to see for the Heat. After he was limping. And the Heat will gain control of the ball. Here comes Davion Mitchell now. Gives it to Kel'el Ware. We need to see some production from Kel'el Ware in this game. Andrew Wiggins misses that layup. And here comes Charlotte now. Trey Mann now has it. Miles Bridges. That's a three. And Trey Mann misses that one. Here comes Pele Larson. Misses the three. Trey Mann now has it for Charlotte. Gives it to Miles Bridges. Why do I keep saying Mikal Bridges? It's Miles Bridges. Here comes Trey Mann. Kalkbrenner loses the ball. Recovered by Davion Mitchell. Here come the Heat now. Norman Powell. And he gets the reverse layup. And the Heat go up by 5. Norman Powell with 13 points off 5 for 12 shooting from the field. Kalkbrenner now has it. Gives it to Trey Mann. That's a three from Miles Bridges. Misses it. Recovered by Miles Bridges to Trey Mann. That's a three from Colin Kneppel. He misses it. Rebound by Pele Larson. Miami swinging the ball around. They give it to Wiggins. Wiggins being guarded by Trey Mann. Wiggins gives it to Kel'el Ware, but he will be fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. I'm sorry. Miami will have a side out instead. They give it to Kel'el Ware. Give it to Norman Powell. Norman Powell gets fouled, and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Norman Powell knocks down the first. And he makes both free throws. The Heat are up by 7. Zion James now being guarded by Norman Powell. Colin Kneppel misses that basket. Rebound by Kalkbrenner. They give it to Zion James for 3. And he misses it. Rebound by Kel'el Ware. And here comes the Heat. Pele Larson now has it. Here comes Wiggins. Wiggins gets his shot blocked. Kel'el Ware botches the dunk. He botches the dunk. And it's going back to Charlotte. Zion James. Alley-oop broken up, but it was last touched by the Hornets. It will be Heat ball. Alright, here comes Pele Larson. To Wiggins. Norman Powell, that's a 3. That's a no-go. Here comes Colin Kneppel. Colin Kneppel for 3. And Colin Kneppel knocks down the 3. And the Hornets are within 4. Here comes Pele Larson. And that's an offensive foul on Miami. It will be Hornets ball. Colin Kneppel in this game has 19 points off of 4 for 9 shooting from 3-point land. The Heat are going to challenge this one. The Heat are going to challenge the possession. Sorry, the foul that was called on Pele Larson. So we will take a quick breather. And we are back. So it looks like it's going to be, after that coach's challenge, yeah, that was overturned, and it will be Charlotte ball. So Miami will lose a timeout on that. Nope, I'm sorry. Yeah, after that coach's challenge, excuse me, the 2 points will be awarded to Miami. So it's 78-72 Miami. And that was going to be I think that's going to be a goaltend or a foul on Kelal Ware. Yeah, it's a foul on Kelal Ware. So Colin Kneppel will go to the line for 2 free throws. And Colin Kneppel will knock down both free throws. So Charlotte leads by 4. Charlotte is trailing by 4. And that's a good layup for Davion Mitchell. Miami leads by 6. And Ryan Kalkbrenner sourced over the layup. Sourced for the alley-oop over Kelal Ware. Miami recovers the rebound, and Charlotte gets it back, and Zion James goes coast to coast for that dunk. Charlotte are now knocking on that door. Larson gives it to Kelal Ware, and Kelal Ware, oh my God, misses the basket and everything. Here comes Colin Kneppel. Alright, Miami gets a rebound. Here they come. Miami swinging the ball around. They give it to Wiggins. Wiggins to Kelal Ware. That's a 3. Kelal Ware misses the 3-pointer. What is going on with Kelal Ware? He should be getting it inside the paint. And that's going to be a foul on Pele Larson. So that will send Miles Bridges to the line. Miles Bridges knocks down the first. So it's a 1-point game. Jaime Jaquez Jr. and Nikola Jovic comes in the game for Miami. Kelal Ware will take a seat, as he should. And Miles Bridges ties the game at 80 with that basket. Here comes Jaime Jaquez. Gives this to Norman Powell. Powell is being guarded by Colin Kneppel. Miami are swinging the ball around. We may have some technical difficulties on my end. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and the Heat now have an 82-80 lead. Right now, Charlotte's going to go to the line. Miles Diabate makes the first. And looking at the offensive rebounds production, Charlotte has more offensive rebounds than Miami. And matter of fact, they have more rebounds as a whole compared to Miami. And we're all tied up at 82. Looks like we have some more technical difficulties going on. All right, Hawkes has the ball. And he will go to the line for 2 free throws. So it will be Hawkes shooting 2 free throws. Hawkes misses the first. Hawkes Jr. right now with 9 points and 4 assists. And Hawkes knocks down the second free throw. Hawkes now with 10 points and 4 assists, shooting 4 for 7 from the field. Looks like Charlotte's going for the layup. And they miss. Looks like it was last touched by Charlotte. As it. All right, Miami will have the ball. Davion Mitchell's bringing it up. Nikola Jovic, and he gets his shot blocked. But it's a goaltend, and it will be 2 points for Nikola Jovic. Here comes TJ Salon. He's bringing up the floor for Charlotte, being guarded by Pelle Larsson. Jovic in this one, he has 10 points off of 4 for 6 shooting. Miami so far has 26 bench points to Charlotte's 15. And here come the Heat right now on a fast break. Norman Powell and Hawkes are on a fast break. Looks like we got more technical difficulties on my end. All right. And they give it to Jovic for the layup. I'm sorry, Pelle Larsson gets the layup. And the Hornets will call timeout. The Heat lead 87-82. And we are back. Here's a look at the schedule for the Heat's NBA Cup schedule. November 14th, they are at New York. November 21st, they're at Chicago. And on November the 26th, they are back home against the Milwaukee Bucks. So these are must-win games, as I should mention, for the NBA Cup. Because not only do wins matter, but also point differentials. Alright, Charlotte now has the ball. Trey Mann's bringing it up, being guarded by Davion Mitchell. And it looks like the Heat Hornets game is lagging at this point. Hold on for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're back now. Score is still 87-82. Right, Charlotte now has the ball. Trey Mann. Alright, so it's out of bounds. It's going to be Charlotte ball still. They give it to Miles Bridges. That's a three from McNeely. He misses. Rebound by Jaime Hawkins Jr. Here comes the Heat now. Jaime Hawkins Jr. gets his shot blocked by Diabate. And here comes Trey Mann. Trey Mann's bringing it up to the floor. And Jaime. There's a three on the way for Charlotte. That's a no-go. Here comes Norman Powell with a nice layup. Miami will get called for a foul. Drew Smith and Simone Fontecchio will come into the game for Miami, replacing Davion Mitchell and Norman Powell. Norman Powell in this one has 19 points off 7 for 15 shooting from the field. Alright, Trey Mann inbounds the ball. Gives it to Miles Bridges, but he is fouled by Pele Larson. So Bridges will go to the line for 2 free throws. Miles Bridges makes the first. And Bridges makes both free throws. So we now have a 5-point game on our hands. Heat leading 89-84. All right, Nikola Jovic bringing in the ball. Right, they give it to Hawkins. Alright, another foul committed by. I think that was a foul on. Yep, it's going to be a foul on Charlotte. This one's going to be on Liam McNeely. So Miami will have his side out. And Liam McNeely with another foul. He just pulls the rug right underneath Nikola Jovic. sorry, Pele Larson. That was Pele Larson. He did that too. So Larson will go to the line for 2 free throws. Well, it looks like we're gonna have a timeout. I'm sorry. We're gonna have an official review to see if that was a foul on McNeely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Heat Hornets game is starting to lag, so I'll still continue with the updates. So what's going on with this game? But it seems like the Heat Hornets game is going in and out intermittently. So I don't know what's the problem with the lag that's going on. Alright, so Pele Larson will go to the line for 2 free throws. After that review, yes, it was a foul on McNeely. So Pele Larson will go to the line for 2 free throws. He already made the first. Plus a technical free throw from Simone Fontecchio. Alright, Pele Larson will take a seat. And here comes Simone Fontecchio driving in the layup. Jaime Jaquez Jr. with the assist, and the Heat go up by 8 in this game. And Zion James misses that 3-pointer. Rebound by Liam McNeely. And Trey Mann answers back with a driving layup for Charlotte. Miles Bridges with the assist. So Trey Mann now has 20 points, and Miles Bridges with 7 assists in this game. Drew Smith knocking it down for Miami. And that will put the Heat up by 8 again. The Miami Heat are on a 10-2 run right now. Nikola Jovic with a block, but Charlotte gets the rebound. Alright, out of bounds, last touch by Miami. It will be with Charlotte ball. A bad pass from Trey Mann. That leads to a Drew Smith steal, but Miami turns over the ball. So far, scores 94-86 Miami. Miles Bridges and Liam McNeely come out of the game. Pat Connaughton and Con Knueppel will come in for Charlotte. Pat Connaughton, of course, most of you Heat fans remember him from his time with the Milwaukee Bucks, hitting those 3-pointers non-stop. Lots of blocks and misses from Charlotte, but they're getting the rebounds. Pat Connaughton coming up with that rebound. Hawkins Jr. missing that layup. And here comes the Charlotte Hornets. Trey Mann missing that shot. Rebound by Diabate. And Diabate gets the putback layup. And that will bring the Hornets within 6. Hawkins Jr. misses the fadeaway. Rebound by Miami, and that will end the third quarter. The score is 94-88 Miami. We'll be back for the fourth and final quarter. We'll be back for the fourth quarter. All right. Hellbeast asks, who would you trade for Ja? Who would I trade for Ja Morant? Sorry. Who would I trade for Ja Morant? I don't know. At the rate they're playing, at the rate they're going right now, I would say Kel'el Ware and Nikola Jovic. I mean, I know Ja Morant's an all-star, but I don't want to give up Tyler Hero. Maybe, let's see, I did say Ware, Jovic, with the way they're playing. But I'll have to respond in the comments. Let me do that. And we are back to begin the fourth quarter. Miami leads 94-88. Kel'el Ware is back in the game for Miami. And it looks like we still have more lagging issues with the Heat Hornets game. Looks like Charlotte will have the ball. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was on mute. So as I was saying, the Heat are leading 101-95. Colin Kneppel was the one who made that last three-pointer. I mean, I don't know what's been going on between the Heat Hornets game. It's been one technical difficulty after another, but we're still striving. So we'll be back after this timeout. And we are back. The Heat lead 101 to 95. Drew Smith passes it into Jaquez. Jaquez gets the layup. The Heat go up by 8. Here comes TJ Salon. Gives it to Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges now has it. Blocked by Kel'el Ware. That's a nice block by Kel'el Ware. Finally, some signs of life from Kel'el Ware. Comes Ryan Kalkbrenner with a setback three. He misses. And that's going to go out on the Hornets, so it'll be Heat ball. Here comes Drew Smith. He gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez gives it to Wiggins. Kel'el Ware sets a screen. Wiggins misses the layup. Rebound by Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges gives it to Kalkbrenner. And that's an offensive foul on Charlotte, so it will be Heat ball once again. Nice defensive effort by Drew Smith to take that charge. Here comes Hawkes now. Hawkes with the spin. And he gets the basket. The Heat go up by 10 in this one. Hawkes with 14 points off 50% shooting from the field. And that's going to be a foul on Hawkes. It looks like we're going to have an official review. So we're going to have an official review to review if there was a foul called on Jaime Hawkes Jr. Or rather, who touched the ball last. So after that official's review, it appears that it will be last touched by Miami. So Charlotte will have the ball side out. Conkinapple gives it to Trey Mann. Miles Bridges back to Trey Mann. Here comes Trey Mann driving into the lane. He misses that basket. Rebound by Davion Mitchell. Jaime Hawkes Jr. now has it. Being guarded by Zion James. Hawkes kicks it out to Davion Mitchell. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gets his shot blocked. Khalil Ware, the three. And he misses the three. Why doesn't he go to the lane? Here comes Trey Mann. Gives it to Miles Bridges. Bridges guarded by Fontecchio. And that pass is broken up. Here comes Khalil Ware. Gives it to Fontecchio. The alley-oop to Superboy Khalil Ware. And the Heat go up by 12. That's what we need to see more of from Khalil Ware, who has 7 points off a tepid 3 for 11 shooting from the field. Kalkbrenner now gives it to Miles Bridges. And that's going to be a foul on Fontecchio. Nice heads-up play to break up the pass, and that led to an alley-oop from Fontecchio to Khalil Ware. Alright, Miles Bridges goes to the line for 2 free throws. He makes the first. And Pele Larson comes in the game for Miami. So does Norman Powell. And Miles Bridges knocks down the second. So it's a 10-point game for Miami. Miami is swinging the ball around. They give it to Norman Powell. Here comes Norman Powell. He misses that shot. Rebound by Charlotte, and here comes Trey Mann. Gives it to Colin Kneppel. And he flies in for the baseline dunk. The Hornets trail by 8. Here comes Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Hawkes. Hawkes to Norman Powell. Back to Hawkes. Woo! Hawkes! And he took off like trying for that dunk. That was nasty. That was absolutely nasty. And the Hornets will call a timeout. Hawkes took that man's ankles like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat takes souls. And he flew for that dunk. Poster jam on Ryan Kalkbrenner. Now that was something nasty. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jaime Hawkes Jr. The Heat go up 109 to 99 in this one. That one got me all fired up now. And we are back. Score is 109 to 99, Miami. Can we please talk about Jaime Hawkes Jr. with the ankle breaker, and he took off like so, trying for that poster jam on Ryan Kalkbrenner. That was a thing of beauty. Colin Kneppel misses the 3. Rebound by Miami. Here comes Norman Powell. Gives it to Pele Larson. Larson with a spin and a layup. The Heat go up by 12 in this one. Here comes Trey Mann. Pele Larson now with 18 points off 70% shooting from the field. Diabate gives it to Miles Bridges. And that's going to be a foul on Miami. That was a sweet looking play from Larson. That was a sweet looking play from Larson, getting it over the big man Diabate. Alright, here's Diabate now. Gives it to Trey Man. Out to Zion James. To Diabate. And Diabate gets the hook over Kelal Ware. And the Hornets trail by 10. Diabate now with 10 points off 80% shooting from the field. Alright, here comes Jaime Jaquez. He misses that one. Rebound by Diabate. Here comes Zion James. Diabate with a double-double of 10 points, 10 rebounds. Over Kelal Ware, of all people. Miles Bridges misses the layup. Jaime Jaquez Jr. recovers the rebound. Here comes Norman Powell. He gives it to Jaquez. Jaquez with a crossover and the basket. Shades of Tim Hardaway on that one. And the Heat go up by 10. And that's going to be another timeout for the Hornets. Miami leads 111 to 101. Jaime Jaquez Jr. is showing out. I repeat, Jaime Jaquez Jr. is showing out. Not only do I sponsor him going for the 6th Man of the Year, most improved player, but also 6th Man of the Year. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Concanello getting that layup. Here comes Miami now. They lead by 10 in this game. Kelal Ware misses the basket but gets his rebound. Spin. Oh my God. What is going on with Kelal Ware? That is a bad miss. Trey Man drives to the lane. They give it back to Trey Man, being guarded by Wiggins. Trey Man misses that basket. Rebound by Jaquez. Jaime Jaquez with 18 points and 7 rebounds. Possibly flirting with a double-double. Here comes Norman Powell. And he gets the basket. Norman Powell with 21 points off 8 for 17 shooting from the field. And that's going to be a foul on Davion Mitchell. Diabate will go to the line for 2 free throws. Kelal Ware kind of overcommitted when guarding Miles Bridges, not knowing that Diabate was about to dunk on him. Diabate misses the first. And Diabate misses both free throws. Rebound by Davion Mitchell. Gives it to Norman Powell. Gets his shot blocked by Diabate. And here comes Charlotte now. Trey Mann with the three. He misses it. Rebound by Miami. Hawkes gives it to Davion. Davion gives it to Hawkes. Back to Hawkes. Back to Norman Powell. And he gets the basket. The Heat go up by 14. Jaime Hawkes now with 18 points and 8 assists. Again, flirting with a double-double. Or possibly triple-double. And he gets his 8th rebound. And pushing it up ahead to Andrew Wiggins with the go-ahead fast break dunk. And the Heat lead by 16. Andrew Wiggins with 19 points off 8 for 15 from the field. The Heat are on a 12-4 run. A far cry from what they were doing in the second quarter, allowing the Hornets to go on a 27-2 run. An impressive fast break dunk by Wiggins. Heat lead 119-103. It's going to be a 30-second timeout for both teams. All right, and we're back. Hornets trailing by 16 in this one. TJ Salon gives it to Concanepo. Concanepo. He gets fouled and he will go to the line for 2 free throws. Concanepo now. He makes the first. And Concanepo makes both free throws. Alright, here comes Miami now. Jaime Hawkes Jr. Oof! Oh no, he got fouled and he appears to be limping. That does not look good for Miami. Especially after the game that he's been having as of late. It looks like knee-to-knee collision. It was knee-to-knee collision with Diabate. Alright, Jaime Hawkes Jr. will take a seat. He's limping his way to the bench. Nope, looks like he's going. Oh, he's going to the back to be evaluated. Pele Larson is now in the game for Miami. Norman Powell with the spin and the blow-by layup. The Heat lead by 16 in this one. Norman Powell with 25 points off 50% shooting from the field. TJ Salon now has the ball for Charlotte. Being guarded by Davion Mitchell. And that's a 3 for McNeely. Charlotte are within 13. Pele Larson now has it. Gives it to Wiggins. Corner 3. And that's good. The Heat go up by 16. That's a 3 on the way from Miles Bridges. It's an air ball. All right, Pele Larson. And he drives in for the layup, plus he will go for the N1. Pele Larson misses the N1. Here come the Hornets now. They give it to McNeely again. That's a miss. Diabate comes up with the rebound. And this one is over. The Heat will win it. 126 to 108. Whew. Man, that one was wild. To go up from 25 in the first quarter to have the Hornets go on a 27-2 run in the second quarter to nearly come back and tie the game and let alone take over the lead. Miami had to do some serious basketball. And they hunkered down and did it with some defense, some rebounding, and definitely attacking the lane. If I had to choose who was my MVP for this game, it would have to be Jaime Jaquez Jr. Every single game, whether the Heat win or lose, he continues to show up, show out, and show why he's a star. Jaime Jaquez Jr. shows up, shows out, and continues to prove why he is a star in the making.
Hey.
And right now joining me for this post game is none other than Alex Bustillo. How you doing, Alex?
What's up, Duran? How you doing, my brother?
Feeling good after that Heat win.
Oh, man. Yes, talk about coming back after a freaking historic first quarter, man, and then a big letdown in the second. Man, I just love the guys that were able to step up. Still dealing with some injuries, man, but we had JJJ, Jaime Jaquez Jr. still doing his thing. Storm and Norman coming in clutch.
Yes.
Pele Larson playing some huge minutes. Even Drew Smith gave us a little bit.
And Andrew Wiggins.
And Wiggins, yeah, Wiggins was playing well, man, playing well early on. I'll tell you what, that second quarter was scary. I saw Charlotte coming on, the rookie Don Knippel, and then Kalkbrenner, man. You forget how great a college ball player Kalkbrenner was over at Creighton. Man, this guy was a baller, and he's got a tremendous size. He was giving us some fits down low. And then let's not forget Diabate, man. He was scrapping. He was getting boards. He had a double in there, getting those loose balls. That's still a big concern, Duran. I'm pumped and excited about this dub, but getting out rebounded by that much is a concern.
Yeah, that's a very big concern, especially with Miami not having Bam Adebayo. You would think that Kel'el Ware would step up, but Kel'el Ware and Nikola Jovic would step up in the rebounding department, especially after the game they had in Denver. I was expecting them to redeem themselves again like they did a few games ago, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, instead you get Jaime. Jaime, I think, had like 8 or 9 boards. Some big boards there late in the game. He was on triple-double watch, man. Jaime was in his bag tonight, boy. I hope he's well. I hope he gets to a little PT and an ice bath. Maybe get that ankle, tidied up before the next game. Looks like he rolled his ankle pretty bad there with about a minute or so left in the fourth.
Yeah, he did. That looked nasty. Like earlier in the game, I thought we were gonna lose Norman Powell.
Yeah, but man, Norman Wood, I tell you what, man, those off-season acquisitions that Miami made are looking really, really good right now. Simone Fontecchio, do your Italian accent, Duran. Let's hear it.
Simone La Dolce Vita Fontecchio 3.
Yeah, that's right, baby. He's playing his ass off too, man. I like Simone. He showed some aggression, went to the hole, attacked the cup tonight. You saw that. I saw a little bit from Jovic, man, but we've talked about this, Duran. I'm gonna need a lot more from Jovic, considering the extension that he just signed. We're gonna need a lot more from Nikola, man.
Yeah, that extension that he got, he is not playing like he deserves that extension.
Yeah. I saw it. I saw some flashes of it. Where he kind of used his size and overpowered the smaller defender and got up a shot. And I think it went in, or it was a goaltend or something. I don't know, but man, he seems a little off balance. Like this is like he's kind of caught like in between. Like he can't do the tempo, but he can't slow it down either. He can't play the half court game either. So he's. I hope Spo and the rest of the coaching staff can figure something out with Jovic, because there's certainly some potential there. But man, he has to play. It's like he's playing timid. He's not playing loose. He's not confident. There's like zero confidence there. And it was just it's hard to watch. Yeah, like I cringe when he's on the floor. Like I don't know what his plus minus is. You can probably see that in the box score today, but it can't be good. So I don't know. Are you able to pull up the box score there, Duran?
Let me pull up here. Let's pull up on the NBA app.
Yeah, let's look it up and see if we can bring it on the screen there. We can see what kind of pops out aside from the rebounding discrepancy and the fact that we're getting crushed on the boards every single night.
Well, Jovic has a plus minus 15.
Okay, so it was actually decent for today's game.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that just was a lot of that was in the first quarter when we exploded for 53. So because I just didn't see that. I don't see that the team is flowing with him on there. He did have I think a couple steals maybe early on in the game. But yeah, it's still, he doesn't pass the eye test for me, at least right now, Duran. I don't know about you, man. I hate to pick on the kid, but when you got a big a sideline like Bam, we're gonna need him to step up along with Khalil Ware. Again, Khalil Ware looked a little off. I mean, he had a career high in blocks, right? He did alter some shots down there. With that kind of wingspan and that kind of height, you hope that he can continue to do that. But you still see him getting manhandled down there by smaller guys. Okay, I think I saw freaking Knipple go up and block him one time, bro. Okay,
that's unacceptable.
Dude, you can't have fucking Knipple block your fucking 7-footer. That's just. I mean, come on. He looks like he's got to beef up a little bit.
He got some scrawny arms.
Yeah, he reminds me a little bit of a really young Hassan Whiteside. Remember when Whiteside was? Yeah, like you saw, the flashes, right? Obviously the shot, the touch, because Whiteside had some touch from the outside as well. But you saw, him also getting beat in transition or not rotating. I saw Khalil Ware not rotate a couple times on defense today, and it frustrated the hell out of me, right? But I'll tell you what, I give a lot of credit to the veterans on the team and that coaching staff, because the Hornets went on some crazy, like, what was it, like 27-2 run or something like that?
27-2 run in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's absurd. Thank goodness that everything was falling in that first quarter, and we were able to light it up for 53 because we really took a step back in the second. We got back to that old style Heat basketball type grinded out defense in the second half, right? Where we were forcing tough shots, we were playing good defense, we were rotating, we were being physical, and it translated into some turnovers. We were able to get in transition and get some easy buckets and kind of get going again, right? Because
Exactly.
I mean, both teams were on pace to score 140 freaking points. But Miami turned it up, right? We put the clamps on. We showed out again with our defense, and we ultimately kind of pulled away there late. So huge win in Casella. Again, this is a win that's going to help this relatively young team, especially with some stars out like Hero and Adebayo now. I'm hearing that Adebayo may miss 3 to 6 weeks. You know, I can't confirm that. Maybe we'll see some reports. But he was in a boot. I saw him in a boot on the sideline, on the bench there. So that can't be good. But you know, I'd rather have those injuries early on than late in the season when we're making a playoff push.
Exactly. While on the subject of a big man, I think Miami needs to bring up Vlad Golden. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. Did you see me type that in the chat, or was that just something that you just thought of as well?
Wait, you typed it in the chat? I didn't see it.
Not in this chat. I typed it in our chat. I was like, hey, with such a huge difference in rebounding, you know, why not bring in the big guy from Florida Atlantic? You know, this is a well-coached guy. He's fundamentally sound. This is if anything, it's another body that can alter shots down low, but also, you know, give you another big body down there to help out with Ware, or when Ware's not on the floor and you decide to go that small, bring in Vlad. See what you got in Vlad. I mean, from what I saw in some summer league action, he's not bad at all. He's very savvy, very heady guy. Okay, you know, I man, who can I compare his game to, as far as like you know, kind of like Jadrunas Ilgauskas type game. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, a guy that could also hit a perimeter shot. From what I remember seeing him at Florida Atlantic, he could shoot the rock too.
Yes.
So I would love to see some Vlad in game time action, man. But I don't know. I'm not Karan Butler. I'm not Eric Spoelstra. I don't know what's going on over there. But yeah, you think that another 7-footer like that could certainly help us kind of close that gap in the rebounding.
Yeah, you would think that, right? Especially when the Heat were on their West Coast trip, when they only had one win and the rest of it were losses.
Yeah.
You know, against teams like San Antonio, the Lakers, and especially freaking Denver.
Yeah, you know, and these were all.
Yeah, having an extra big would have been beneficial.
These were all winnable games, because think how many extra possessions those teams got, right? So I mean, how hard is it to play a really, really good 24-second sequence of defense, right? And then you have to do that again, right? So that not only wears on you, right? So those guys that are on the floor, that wears on them, right? But it allows the team on offense, you know, second opportunities, right? And you can't have that, man. You can't have that. Rebounding is going to be something that I mean, it's been a problem for this Heat team for a while now, not just this season, right? This has been an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
So you draft the Ware out of Indiana, that size, hoping to help Adebayo and relieve some of that rebounding burden from Adebayo, and he's not really doing that. I mean, I think Jaime Jaquez got more rebounds than Khalil Ware. Davion Mitchell may have gotten more rebounds than Khalil Ware. What's the box score say?
All right, the box score and rebounds.
Yeah, rebounds. How many did Ware get?
Khalil had 6 rebounds.
6 rebounds. I know Jaquez had more. Did Powell have more rebounds?
8.
Jaquez had 8. How many did Powell have?
Norman Powell, 4.
I know Larson had a few too. How many did Larson have?
4.
Yeah, you see, so we're obviously spreading the wealth. There's guys. We have some great rebounding guards. I mean, I'd still consider JJJ a guard. Maybe a stretch 3 type guy, maybe even a 4. But he plays like a guard. He facilitates like a guard, and he's rebounding his ass off. Pelle Larsson can rebound too. I think Fontecchio can get up there and sky and grab some boards. Norman Powell for sure. Norman Powell was huge, man. I can't emphasize how big he was when he imposed his will, went to the hole, drove, was in attack mode. He was in attack mode.
Yes.
And that was helpful. Got himself to the line. I want to say Charlotte shot a lot more free throws than Miami, though. But we did hit our free throws. So when we were there, we didn't miss much. I want to say we probably shot about 80% from the line.
Yeah. If those guys that you mentioned can get more rebounds, why not Khalil Ware? I mean, you would think he would be getting like at least 8, 9, 10 or more rebounds a night. Yeah,
with that type of wingspan and that type of height, you have to be able to. I don't know if it's his footwork. I don't know if he's just not. If he's reacting late, or if he's not, if he's not playing the angles well. I don't know. But that's certainly something I would work on every day for multiple hours a day, because at the end of the season, rebounding and offensive rebounds and getting second chance points are what's going to separate yourselves from a pretender and a contender. Exactly. Right now, just at 5-4, but out of those 4 losses, very winnable games. You had a lead against San Antonio, right?
Yes.
You had a lead against the Clippers. Am I right?
Well, we beat the Clippers in that one.
Oh, that's right. We beat the Clippers. We beat them by 1. So who was? So you lost to Denver, but that was also a very winnable game. What's our 4th loss? Oh, the Magic.
Yeah, the Magic and.
So we have Orlando. We have Denver.
The
Lakers. That's right. Lakers, another game that I thought was winnable.
It was winnable, and the Heat were coming back. The Heat were making a comeback until the Lakers kind of just closed the door on us.
And the Lakers had their share of injuries too. If I'm not mistaken, either Austin Reeves or Luka was out that night.
No, LeBron was out. LeBron was out that night. Austin Reeves and Luka were playing. LeBron was playing. Jackson Hayes was playing. Rui Hachimura was playing. Jared Vanderbilt was playing.
Okay, so it was just LeBron. They weren't missing Luka or Austin Reeves that night.
No.
Okay, but still a very winnable game against a team that's 7-2 right now. The Lakers are 7-2, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a very winnable game. So again, if I had to guess, if you look at that box score, I'm sure we got out rebounded that night as well. I remember Jackson Hayes being a pain in the ass on the board that night. So just it's gonna be a problem that needs to be addressed, and I'm sure Spoelstra is aware of that. Hey, by the way, man, what a warrior for Spoelstra to come out and coach tonight after what happened to his home just about 24 hours ago, man. Yeah. So thank God that nobody was in the home, no injuries. He's with his kids. Obviously, he probably lost everything in there. But kudos to our coach for coming out and coaching the squad and doing a great job getting them to bounce back and be resilient.
Yeah, Coach Spo has a lot of heart. He's got a lot of heart. He's resilient, very mindful, tactful. What more can you say about the guy?
No, definitely a class act, man. One of the best, if not the best coach in the league right now. Congratulations to him on being selected to coach Team USA. That's certainly well deserved. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, prayers up to Coach Spo and his kids and his family. Hopefully he can bounce back from that horrific loss of his home. Who do we got next on the schedule, Jerron?
Tomorrow we face the Portland Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers, okay, another young team with a lot of talent.
Yeah, it's a young team with Anthony Simons, Shadon Sharp, Danny Avdia, Young Hansen.
No,
the
I
rookie from
I
China.
thought Simons got traded.
Wait, really? Oh,
Yeah, check that. I don't think he's with the Trailblazers anymore. I think Simons got traded.
yeah, that's right. Anthony Simons did get traded.
Yeah, still a very a very good team, a very young team.
Yeah, he got traded. He got traded to Boston. So it's Shadon Sharp.
Yeah, Kamara. Don't forget Kamara.
Yeah.
That's a great defender. I can't pronounce his first name. Tamani Kamara or something like that. Great defender. He's a problem. He probably was amongst the league leaders in steals last season, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
It's another very tough game, but a game that Miami should win.
Yes.
I think if you put us up against our best and their best, I think we outshine them. Hopefully, we're not without Bam for an extended period of time, but for the immediate future, we will be without Bam. Hopefully, the severity is not bad, and he's able to return and continue to make an impact. But yeah, I'm curious to see some Vlad Golden, man. I'd love to see him in action and see what we have in the rook. Our Lithuanian draft pick. Help me pronounce his last. Yakajunas. He was available, if I'm not mistaken, against Denver, but he didn't play. So he's pretty close to being available. I would imagine he'd get some minutes over Drew Smith in this next matchup against Portland tomorrow.
If not tomorrow, then I think it's Monday's game.
Yeah, who do we have on Monday?
On Monday, the Heat got the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Ooh, but the Cleveland Cavaliers are also struggling, man. They're struggling to find their way early on in the season. But still a very, very tough team, a team that went a long way last season. Where did they get to, the conference finals?
No, they were eliminated in the second round.
Okay, so they were eliminated in the quarterfinals. Okay, but still a very, very good Cleveland team. A team that's got some size in Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Those guys can really hurt you down in the low post. So we're going to have to bring our best against those two guys, especially. And, of course, Spider Mitchell, a freaking devastating scorer. That guy is a walking bucket. So hopefully we're able to contain him. And they got some great players on that squad, and very well coached as well. So man, I'm gonna call it a night, brother. If you want to stay up and share a few more of your insight with the fans, that'd be awesome. But I'm gonna get out of here. I got a wedding to go to tomorrow night. So I probably got to pack a bag and get ready for that wedding tomorrow night. So I appreciate the love. KSN, keep tuning in every Heat game. Duran's gonna do his thing. I appreciate you, man.
All right, take care, Alex. Thank you.
Yeah, bro.
And that was Alex Bucillo, ladies and gentlemen. So we did talk about a lot of the Heat Hornets game, how Miami were up a considerable margin, only for the Hornets to come back on a 27-2 run in the second quarter. But the Heat hunkered down with that old grinded out defense, and it turned into a lot of positive and great things, including Jaime Jaquez Jr. doing that little crossover, breaking Zion James' ankles, and posterizing Ryan Kalkbrenner. So again, if I had to choose an MVP for this game, it would be none other than Jaime Jaquez Jr. And as for the scoreboard itself, the box scores itself, for the Heat, Pele Larson with 19 points, Andrew Wiggins with 22 points, Norman Powell led the way with 25 points. And coming off the bench, Simone Fontecchio with 11 points, Nikola Jovic with 10 points, and Jaime Jaquez Jr. was flirting around with a triple-double of 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. And for the Hornets, Colin Kneppel led the way with 30 points. Miles Bridges with a double-double of 14 points, 12 rebounds. A near triple-double with 7 assists. Ryan Kalkbrenner and Sion James with 10 points each. Trey Mann with a near triple-double of 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. And Diabate with a double-double of 10 points and 11 rebounds. So, again, another high-scoring game. One that was entertaining and thrilling all the way through. And definitely some high spots from Jaime Jaquez Jr. So those were some big highlights. And I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jaquez. Not only did I endorse him for Most Improved Player of the Year, but coming off the bench, I might as well endorse him for Sixth Man of the Year if he continues this upside that we're seeing right now. Because this is a whole new Jaime Jaquez Jr. And he has been entertaining right now. He is entertaining on both ends of the floor. And I am here for it. I love it. And you should too. So, the next game for the Miami Heat, they're back on the court tomorrow at Kaseya Center when they host the Portland Trail Blazers, led by Shadon Sharp, Kamara, rookie Jan Hansen, and a pair of veterans in Drew Holiday and returning Blazers favorite and former Milwaukee Buck, I have to mention that one, Damian Lillard. So Dame Dollar and company coming down to the 305 to do battle against Norman Powell, Kelly Ware, Davion Mitchell, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and the Heat. That game starts tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and you can watch that on FanDuel Sports Sun or your local 10 News. Again, FanDuel Sports Network or your local 10 News. I want to thank you guys for another edition of Heat Zone Live. I'm glad to be here despite the technical difficulties that we were facing, and I'm gonna continue to keep doing this and keep entertaining you guys with a play-by-play commentary and giving you some more insight of what's going on in the game. And hopefully there's no added injuries for Miami right now, because the last thing we need is added injuries. Yeah, I did see Jaime Jaquez Jr. hobble off the court, and earlier in the game, Norman Powell had a knee-to-knee collision. So hopefully nothing serious comes of it. So, with that said, I wish you guys a good night. I'm Deron Butler, reminding you to always run through the paint. Take care, God bless, treat each other with love, kindness, respect, and care. And as always, go Heat. See you guys tomorrow for the next Heat Zone live stream.